audio ah.
Okay sir, okay.
Okay.
Wala.
Wala mo na doon sa speaker.
Ongoing operation of the provincial government.
Okay na, okay na.
So last August 15, the provincial relief operation, assisted by went to the town of Bulacan and distributed 760 packs to 760 displaced families in Bulacan. So the total number of the IDPs that we have already served is 77,767 or 388,835 individuals. Also on the same day, August 15, we also simultaneously conducted relief operation to Barangay Sugot here in Marawi City, serving 380 families. So the total number again, including that number to the total number of individuals that we have already served is again 388,835 individuals. So that's 77,767. Same day also, the provincial management rescue team have conducted a management stress briefing management seminar. This is part of the technical support that we receive. As we partner the provincial government with various NGOs. This is also to provide them and to enhance their rescue response effort, part of the MDM handling, the proper handling of the dead, management of the dead and the missing. Also on August 16, the provincial government of Lanao del Sur, in partnership with Tala Philippines, Happy Tent, and the AFP, transported 15 boxes of toys and children's books in Tamparan for the setting up of toy room and kids library for the displaced children and the set down. On August 9, the provincial capital provided malong, non-food and food items to 1,600 teachers, Marawi City Schools Division teachers who are affected by this fighting. This is also in partnership partnership with our AFP, as these food and non-food provisions were transported in Iligan City. On August 15, the PSWD, and so on August 15, no, yesterday yesterday, August 17, so part of the continued support of the provincial government to provide Mindanao State University assistance insofar as securing the campus and also logistic assistance, support to the main campus for it to be fully operationalized. The provincial government of Lanao del Sur provided bus transport to students and faculties, including the administrative staff of MSU who are residing outside Marawi City. These buses are currently being utilized by the students, the faculties, and the administrative staff. So they will continue to utilize this bus transportation, serving 8,000 student population of MSU. This will continue on until Marawi is open for the return of the residents. Ito po yung mga staff and mga teachers and students of MSU who are now temporarily residing outside Marawi City. And also yesterday, the members of the provincial rescue team were deployed in MSU to collect trashes that piled up after months without garbage collection. This is in MSU also, since the start of the siege last May 2013. This cleanup drive activity is done in support to MSU Brigada Escuela that was held yesterday in preparation for the scheduled opening of MSU this coming August 22, 2017, next week. And one of the most important and significant events that took place last week, or the other day, I guess, is that the office of Lanao del Sur First District Representative Ansarudin Alonto Adyong requested an audience with President Duterte along with some cabinet officials for the provincial government to appraise the President and to provide situational report relative to the ongoing humanitarian efforts being conducted by the Provincial Crisis Management Committee. Proposals and recommendations by Governor Soraya Alonto Adyong and Vice Governor Mamintal Adyong Jr. are submitted before the President to intensify the government's humanitarian response in addressing the current state of our IDPs. Apart from the early recovery plan vis-a-vis the ongoing construction of the temporary shelter and the eventual rehabilitation stage of Marawi and Lanao del Sur, the discussion centered on the continued displacement of more than 600,000 people scattered around evacuation sites across 5 regions in Mindanao. Among areas identified to be priorities of this government in connection to solving the ongoing crisis are road linkages, health security, adequate water supply, emergency employment, livelihood assistance, proper sanitation facilities, rationalization of relief response operation, and security of academic institutions. During the meeting, it was agreed that active participation of stakeholders shall be encouraged to achieve a lasting solution and maintaining peace and order in the province. In attendance are Secretary Delphin Lorenzana, Secretary Leonor Briones, Secretary Mark Villar, Secretary Judy Tagiwalo, Secretary Pauline Ubial, AFP Chief of Staff General Eduardo Anyo, Special Assistant to the President, Christian Lawrence Go, Congressman Huki Alonto Adyong, and some of the Assistant Secretaries of mentioned national agencies. So from the provincial government side, that would be the end of our update. Thank you.
Kasalanan ni Gaddafi yan. Si Gaddafi may kasalanan.
Good morning. Today is the 18th of August, day 88 of rebellion in Marawi. As of 7 p.m. yesterday, our troops are clearing about a smaller portion of the main battle area, about 800 by 600 meters in the main battle area. Some strategic structures occupied by the terrorists have already been regained. We have also recorded 573 enemy killed and 635 firearms recovered from the terrorists. There is no change in the number of civilians killed, which remained at 45, and the number of civilians rescued at 1,728. Our troops are still trying to clear more than an estimated 400 structures in the main battle area, and a total of 1,200 improvised explosive devices and unexploded ordnance were recovered and disrupted by our troops. Yesterday alone, 8 IEDs and 16 unexploded ordnance were recovered by our forces inside the main battle area. For the government casualties, we have incurred 128 killed in action soldiers since the first day, and we are happy to announce that we did not have soldiers killed for the past 8 days. Out of our wounded soldiers, almost 380 already went back to the main battle area after recuperating from their wounds. And also, 58 non-battle casualties were hospitalized. Majority of them were diagnosed with dengue, typhoid, and diarrhea. For the significant incidents for the past week, 2 local terrorists were slain at Lake Lanao. Last August 15, Tuesday at 10 in the evening, 2 fighters of the Daesh-inspired group were slain in the operations of troops patrolling at Lake Lanao. A patrol team under Lieutenant Junior Grade Sincero monitored a suspected bangka boarded by 2 persons moving towards the main battle area in Marawi City. Lieutenant Junior Grade Sincero ordered the troops to get near the bangka to confirm its identity. However, the suspicious persons fired upon the said troops, resulting to a firefight. One of the persons aboard the bangka fell into the water after being hit by a caliber 50 machine gun. After the firefight, the patrol team inspected the bangka and recovered several ammunition. Said operation yielded to the death of 2 local terrorists, however, only 1 cadaver was recovered. Retrieved by the troops were a dead body, 2 rounds of RPG, 55 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, booster charger, a rifle grenade, and several floating devices. For our humanitarian efforts for the past week, this was already probably mentioned by Assemblyman Zia Alonto. We have conducted the AFP and Ulama Reconciled Security Issues in Iligan City, wherein it's a 3-day activity conducted at Tower Inn, Elena Tower Inn in Iligan City, and the result of which was the statement of support by the Ulama to the fatwa declared by the MILF and the Darul Ifta of the ARMM. Another significant activity was the Diskwento Caravan launched for 1,000 Marawi refugees. Last August 15, the Diskwento Caravan, a nationwide program of the Department of Trade and Industry, was launched for the benefit of internally displaced families taking refuge in Lanao del Sur. Food and commodities were sold to the refugees at lower prices in the municipalities of Bitsaan, Ramain, and Tamparan in Lanao del Sur on last August 15. And another significant activity was the launching of Brigada Eskwela yesterday, as mentioned by Assemblyman Sia at MSU yesterday. This activity is started yesterday but will culminate on Sunday in preparation for the start of classes on August 22, that's Tuesday. So tuloy-tuloy po yon from yesterday until Sunday, making minor repairs sa school, repainting, construction activities, minor construction activities, and most especially cleaning of the vicinity. And also, we would like to announce the development of the incoming 1 company of female soldiers and police women. There are around 104 female soldiers and police women will be arriving on August. They are expected to be here on August 26 this month. August 26, that's next week already. They are ongoing. They have an ongoing training right now, which specifically is the training on cultural sensitivity and psychosocial training to prepare them upon their deployment here next week. So these females will be deployed in evacuation centers and will be utilized in medical aid stations that will be put up in all centers. So paparating na po sila next week. Ongoing na yung training nila ngayon. That's all for the military side.
Since that yesterday, parang explain to us, naglag ba yung operation? Wala kasi airstrike tapos mahila na yung package.
Walang strike. Kasalanan pa nila wala strike.
Actually, sir, what is happening right now is definitely we can see that the situation is very critical already since maliit na yung lugar, and we have to look into the welfare of the hostages kung paano sila ma-save ng ating mga forces doon. So, itong pag tinitingnan natin na medyo merong yung airstrikes medyo hindi na kasi dami ng mga nakaraan, This could be caused by the current situation on the ground. Siyempre, kailangan po natin pag-isipan ng ating mga ground forces, ground commanders, kung deploying the airstrikes should not, kumbaga, put the lives of the hostages in peril or in danger.
How would you interpret kung sinabi ni Congress on weeks na can you give us an update on
Again, hindi naman po talaga tayo nagbibigay ng specific date or specific timeline. But weeks could be, of course, pwedeng isang buwan kasi 4 weeks in 1 month. So, hindi niya rin kasi mas specify talaga until when, dahil yun nga, iba-iba yung sitwasyon araw-araw doon sa ground. Merong araw na mabilis yung pag-clear ng mga buildings, nakaka-clear tayo ng around 38 to 39 buildings. Meron ding araw na 4 lang o 5 buildings lang ang naka-clear, depende nga po sa sitwasyon na kinakaharap ng ating ground forces. So no specific definition doon kung ba ano yung weeks na sinasabi.
may nangyari pala na kwento yung dalawa kung saan isa yung pangkay ng natampuhan.
Yes.
Yung pinapakita niyo picture. Kung kayo pang-fato or are they were terrorista o paano yun?
Unang-una po, they were seen entering the main battle area. Wala naman siguro gustong pumasok sa main battle area if you are not a supporter or one of those people na nandoon sa loob ng main battle area. Pangalawa po, sila ang unang nagpaputok doon sa ating mga kasundaluhan. Pangatlo po, na-recover natin sa bangka itong mga RPG rounds na nandyan and mga bala ng M16 na nandoon sa sasakyan sa kanilang bangka na na-recover. Although hindi pa natin nakilala yung pagkakakinlanlan ng cadaver na na-recover, but these are reasons enough to believe na itong mga ito ay supporter ng mga nasa loob. And besides, isa na din po siguro ito sa resulta ng pakikipag-ugnayan natin sa mga local chief executives the other week dahil itong impormasyon binigay po sa atin na there is a possible entry on that particular night at napaghandaan ng ating mga forces.
So this confirms na merong nagre-resupply, may mga suporta, nagaling sa labas, papasok sa loob.
This particular incident says it already. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na hindi itong mga tao gustong mag-reinforce doon. Bakit ka papasok sa main battle area kung hindi ka magre-reinforce o magdadala ng mga RPG rounds doon sa loob?
So ibig sabihin ba, may mga ammunitions and also mga war materials na maaaring nasa labas
It is very possible, sir, because gaya nga ng mga na-monitor previously, they had been calling all over the radio accordingly for reinforcements. Ito ay nakuha lang din natin na impormasyon sa mga sibilyan, pero itong impormasyon na to ay ginamit ng ating mga intel units sa kanilang assessment, analysis and assessment. So, posible po talagang mangyari. But this be a warning to those who wants to get in the main battle area to do reinforcements and bringing in ammunition or supplies. Na ang ating mga forces na nasa lawa ay nakahanda yan. Nandyan to watch over 24/7. And what makes this very, kumbaga, advantage sa atin, tinutulungan tayo ng ating mga local chief executives and local government units around the lake.
Sorry for this question. Do we have enough forces para mapigila tayo pupunta talaga because malaki yung
Malawak po yung lawa. Yung ating forces ay nagkakaroon ng scheduling para hindi naman masabi na merong space na pwedeng pasukan itong mga terorista sa pagpasok. Pero it is being supported again by the help ng mga LGUs na pagbibigay ng information, and this resulted to the recent success.
Isa na lang on my part, sorry. Pero may nagkumpirma naman na local executive na yan ay local nila o paano?
As of this time, sir, hindi pa siya nakikilala at wala pang may nagsabi na constituent nila yung tao niya. We are still knowing right now kung sino yun.
Sino? One naman, kay Master, sorry, ship lang natin.
pula. Langit pula ilong.
Well, yeah. Well, basically, immediately after the fatwa signing by the religious sector, they received a letter, no, from apparently claiming that it's from the Dawlatul Islamiyah, threatening the religious sector, those who are involved in the signing of the fatwa, na they will be considered as munafiq. As you know, all Muslims, according to their definition, who are receiving salaries, who are receiving benefits from the government, who are working together with the military, are to be considered by them munafiq, and therefore worthy to be killed. No? This is according to their definition. Let's go back to what they are doing. What actually the main motive, in this war is to replace our constitution by their own proposal to establish caliphate here in the Philippines, and that includes abolishing ARMM, abolishing status quo basically. So those people who are working with the status quo are considered munafiq, and therefore can be pwedeng patayin. We see how these people do not actually separate who is competent and who is non-competent. Makikita natin na maski sino man lang, even religious leaders ay tina-target nila. Gusto nilang, this is actually their weapon. They want to instill fear in everybody's hearts. They want to discourage those ulama leaders who are really, who are really advocating the truest form of Islam. They want to be, they want to warn them and to threaten their lives, personal lives. Kaya sa atin, makikita natin kung how desperate they are, na even yung mga stakeholders natin, including the ulama, are being threatened by them. No? So, makikita natin, they don't actually distinguish which one is competent, which one is non-competent civilians. But as for them, for as long as any group might pose, hindrance to their ultimate objective, are considered enemies and therefore must be killed.
Okay, so on the part of the military, first of all, we are inspired by the actions of the ulama because despite the threat that they are facing, they still signed that manifest or that statement in support of the fatwa. While in fact they know that their lives are being threatened, they faced this squarely and still signed that manifest. So, on the side of the military, we have pledged to support the local government secure this ulama. So, nagpahiwatig po ang ating commander ng West Mekong, si General Galvez, and he promised the ulama that he will support the local government, secure them. So, kasama po natin yung local government, yung mga mayors natin, in securing our ulama.
Meron lang ako yes, Colonel. Meron lang ako dadagdag. Let this be a message, to all the people, to all the Filipino nation as a whole in general, that this is not a religious war. Because our ulama, Darul Ifta and the legitimate ulama sector are helping the government to fight extremism, terrorism. So let this be a message that only partnering the government, partnering with these sectors, the stakeholders, can there be fully incomplete, we can completely prevail over the threat of terrorism in this country. So yun nga po, this be a message na hindi po ito religious war. Yun po yung dahil kasama po natin ang ating mga ulama na mga magagaling mga ulama, alim and ustads dito po sa ito. Sa hangaring po ito na ma-secure natin ang Marawi City at ang Lanao Bulso.
Yeah. On the security of Ulamas, no, aside from giving support to LGUs, may plano ba kayo like bigyan sila ng actual security or like in a form of bodyguards?
It will be on a case-to-case basis. So, for instance, meron pong pupuntahan yung ating ulama in order to reach out to our communities in order to give them or enlighten them about the right teachings of the Quran. Then we can provide them security, physical security. And also, meron po silang request na kung pwede ay mag-armas sila. But of course, we have to operate within the bounds of the law. Hindi po forget martial law, we have the full authority to do that. Meron pa rin tayong batas na sinusunod, so we will work within the bounds of the law.
What is the reason po na hindi sila pwedeng like bodyguards kung saan ba sila pumunta? Bakit kailangan easy cases?
No, in terms of bodyguards, we can do that. So, marami po tayong methods of providing them security. So, providing them bodyguards whenever they go out into areas that are critical, then we can do that.
Follow up to that. Nangyari at pinadala yung mga sulat sa email. Yung logo, everything. This means na meron pa rin tao sa labas. Itong mountain or sympathizers. Ano ba yun? Paano ba sabi natin? Meron bang gagawin ng military to counter-strike these people, especially backtracking of these letters and just to get to whoever ang nasa tuloy.
Yes, we know for a fact that yung mga Maute terrorist group are not only confined to the main battle area. We know that they have supporters outside. In fact, there are attempts to recruit more fighters. And your military and the local government are working together. Kasama rin po natin dito yung Philippine National Police in addressing these efforts that are being done outside. Kaya nga po yung mga reports of possible reinforcements or possible bringing in of ammunition ay ina-address rin natin. So, yung fight, this fight is not only confined inside the main battle area. The fight, in fact, involves even outside the main battle area, dun po sa areas where they have alleged supporters. And if you notice po, itong laban na ito, because this is terrorism, this is a national fight that all of us should address.
Yes, any more questions?
Okay, sir, Zia po. Recently, madaming mga organizations who have been extending financial help to Marawi evacuees. Like recently in Japan has donated a certain amount, and we have celebrities donating a certain amount. Sir, monitor niyo ba? Paano ba yung accounting na talagang makapag yung mga tulong na ito sa mga evacuees, mga IDPs po natin?
Well, we have layers of mechanism wherein NGOs or other countries are extending support financially or otherwise to the victims of the Marawi crisis. You mentioned Japan. I guess Japan extended $8 million to UNICEF. So it's UNICEF really who are providing relief operations relative to the $8 million that Japan extended to them. I believe the 8 million will be used for the vaccines, the purchase of vaccines for the children. Must also be utilized for the purchase of equipments or medicines to support women and children, especially the lactating mothers. So isa po yun sa mga ginagawa nila at na isang mga mekanismo. Yung mga NGOs po, the non-government organizations and foundations that are directly coordinating with us, what we do is we identify the areas where they can go to, and then from their end, they can directly provide or extend or give out relief operations that they brought in. I'll just cite you an example. The Xavier University, Tabang, Mindanao, constructed latrines and community kitchens at Barangay Bito. So what we did is we escorted them to this area, and then we talked with the camp manager and directly para mag-coordinate na sila. And so also they can also have a clear picture as to how many evacuees are there, how many affected civilians are there, and then yung degree ng support na binibigay nila. We do this every time that we receive support from various NGOs and even government to government, LGUs to LGUs. Gusto natin diretso silang magbigay. Para ma-document na rin nila sa kanilang mga offices, may pabigay sila mga report nila. So what we provide, aside from, yung from our end talaga, what we provide is we actually play as a conduit from these NGOs or LGUs to our evacuees, so that we will be, our participation is really in a matter of bridging them, and to reach these evacuees. Thank you.
Follow-up? For sa military po, follow-up lang. So, after the final assault, ano yung plan niyo gawin sa mga matitirang mounted terrorists? Ano yung parang mechanism? Yung sa mga matitirang terrorists, after the final assault, for example, may mga matira, a-arrestuin sila, of course, so parang for soundbite lang.
Yes, kung meron pong matitirang mga miyembro nitong Maute group, terrorist group, isa sa ilalim po sila sa proseso ng ating batas. So they will be charged of the appropriate charges, and then they will have to have their day in court. So kung sasabihin po ng ating korte ay guilty sila dun sa mga charges na ipapataw natin sa kanila, then they will have to face the consequences of their actions. Ang matinding consequence po dito ay hindi lamang sa batas, pero sa mata ng ating mga kababayan. Because really, the devastation that they created in Marawi has very adverse effect. Hindi lamang po para sa mga residente ng Marawi, pero para sa ating bansa. Dahil nakikita naman po natin yung epekto ay nakikilala na rin ang Pilipinas bilang baluarte nitong mga terorista na ito.
Ay po. So, for soundbite ulit, kayo ba, mananawagan ba kayo sa kanila ngayon na sumumuna, ganyan, dahil konti na lang naman sila?
Araw-araw po tayong nananawagan sa kanila na mag-surrender na lang at nang matapos na itong Marawi so that we can bring back normalcy dito sa Marawi. Kawawang-kawawa na po yung ating mga kababayan dito sa Marawi. Yung mga, lalong-lalo na yung mga kabataan natin na kailangan pumasok sa mga eskwelahan. Yung ating pong gobyerno na kailangan ipatupad yung mga programa nang sa gayon ay ma-deliver natin yung basic services sa ating mga kababayan. So, araw-araw po kaming nananawagan sa mga miyembro ng Maute Terrorist Group na mag-surrender na lang. Nang sa gayon ay matigil na itong violence na ito.
Lawrence Opomoradio din kayo, ABC5. Tanong ko kaya Assembly lang. Assembly man, kumusta po ang pag-uusap ninyo ng Pangulo at ano po ang kanyang pilit sa ating lugar na pamahalaan?
Maganda naman. Maganda naman yung pinag-usapan. Actually, maraming pinapag-usapan. Unang-una doon sa case ng health security ng ating mga bakwit. Ang hinihingi natin sa kanila, kanina nga nasabi ni Captain Pitinglay na pati yung mga troops natin sa loob ay nagkakadenge na rin. So, hinihingi natin na mag-provide ng vaccines for dengue, vaccines for cholera, vaccines sa mga diarrhea. May provide natin sa ating mga displaced na mga evacuees sa bawat munisipyo, pati sa Iligan, sa Marawi City. So, the President instructed Assistant Secretary Dumama to immediately provide the needed medical assistance, including the troops. Not only kasi ang pinawagan natin doon ay including the troops. Yung lahat ng efforts natin dito sa Marawi. Isa pangalawa, yung meron kasing out of the 600,000 data from the national, yung IDPs, meron tayong almost 50,000 na mga home-based IDPs that have not been receiving relief operation up to now. It's because they are not included or they are not being housed in the recognized evacuation center by the host city or municipality. And so therefore, they have not received the disaster access family card, yung green card. And so once you don't have that, hindi ho kayo makakatanggap ng relief operation. So we relayed this to former Secretary Judy Tagiwalo, that there are about almost 50,000 in numbers, na home-based IDPs that up to now have not been receiving relief operation from DSWD. And so what we requested from her is to have a second wave of distribution of disaster access family card. So there are identified number of IDPs in Iligan. Meron po tayong aside dyan na location sa Iligan, yung Monera Madrasa. Ang nandyan po because it's a private lot and it was informally set up by these IDPs as their temporary shelter. And so at first we requested Iligan City to consider this as part of the recognized evacuation sites. But unfortunately, ang sabi ng Iligan, hindi na nila kaya mag-provide pa ng facility. And so hindi ho ito nakaka-receive. So there are about 270 families in this particular evacuation site. And many others hindi nakakuha ng disaster access family access card. So maganda naman ang tugon ng secretary natin at magkakaroon na ng second wave of distribution ng yung DAFAC. Plus na rin yung sinabi natin na it's going to be magkaroon dapat ng concrete na data sharing. Dahil it's only with having yung exact accurate figure can we really do humanitarian efforts accurately and properly, kasi doon tayo magbe-base sa So magkakaroon ng rationalization ng relief operation natin dahil may mga evacuation site na mas kailangan nila yung gamot kaysa pagkain, meron naman na nangangailangan ng pagkain. In fact, may mga cases na yung mga evacuees natin nagbebenta na ng sardinas at saka bigas dahil sumusobra yung relief sa kanila ng ganun. So ang mas kailangan nila yung mga mattresses, mas kailangan nila yung mga latrines. Pati yung supply ng water, sinabihan na ni Presidente si Secretary Mark Villar na immediately aside from yung to facilitate yung mas mabilis na matapos ang temporary shelter natin sa barangay sa Bungsungan, merong mga evacuation centers na kailangan pa ng tubig. So na-instruct niya si Secretary Villar, magdarating doon ng DepEd through regional office ng Region 10 at magbibigay sila ng yung water system. Pinag-uusapan pa nila ngayon kung paano nila i-transport. But definitely it's going to be in Iligan, in Sagiaran, in Balui, in Pantar. So marami, sa education naman na sumusuporta naman sa atin si Secretary Briones doon sa panawagan natin na kailangan magkaroon ng suporta at ma-strengthen yung madaris system natin dahil hindi lang natin pinoprotektahan yung mga madrasas dito sa Lano del Sur o sa ARM, even the madrasas outside Mindanao. So para hindi naman magkaroon na sila ay maging object of baka yung ibang tao sabihin nila kasi ito sa nangyayari, baka sabihin nila ito is a Muslim versus kailangan din magbigyan sila ng suporta. So balikan ko lang yung kasi connected ito doon sa fatwa. So yung message po na gusto natin ibigay sa ating mga kababayan outside Mindanao, outside Lanao do Sur, hindi po ang kalaban niyo ang Muslim population. Kasama niyo po kami sa laban ito. Protektahan po natin ang ating mga kababayan, Muslim man o Kristiyano, kung saan man, no, sa area sa Mindanao. Dahil ito po ay laban ng Pilipino, wala akong religion dito dahil pati po kaming mga Muslim ay under threat sa kanila. So hindi ho kalaban nyo ang Muslim populace ng Pilipinas.
Follow-up.
Colonel Brown. Sir, kumusta na po yung identity ng sino yung nagbigay ng, kasi 20 ulama yung nakatanggap ng liham mula sa Maute. Na-investigahan na po ba ninyo yung CCTV ng Elena Tower kung sino yung nag-distribute doon sa mga ulama?
Yes, kasama po natin yung Philippine National Police in the investigation. Pati na po yung ating mga ulama are helping us identify kung sino yung nagbigay po ng sulat na ito. So, this is still under investigation.
Okay.
Sir, follow up ito sa tanong ni Rex kanina. Sabi niyo nga po, 14 na lang yung kalaban sa mga area. So, ano kayo driving towards na yung mga terrorist na natin? Despite na kung 14 na sila, dire-diretso na yung mga kaso. So, different ones na, sir, what was it?
Well, sa kanila, yung kanilang paniniwala, no? At well, maybe Assemblyman Zia can shed light on this. Maaring yung motivation nila ay maghasik talaga ng terrorism. And while they are fighting our government forces, tuloy-tuloy po yung kanilang hangarin na magkaroon ng kaguluhan. If we try to look at the objective of terrorism, it's really to create violence for a specific purpose, and that higher purpose could be something that they believe in.
Yes. Well, number one, the reason why we are also, trying to partner with the religious leaders, because there's really an important, kailangan natin ma-establish yung message and the messaging. Of course, when you talk about religious, issues, you need somebody who is capable, who is authorized to speak in that matter. So, kailangan mo talaga, hindi ko kaya yan ng militar, hindi ho namin kailangan ng mga officials, hindi rin ho kaya ng mga religious leaders o mga abogado. Ang pwede lang na magsabi kung ano yung tunay na message ng Islam, isang mga religious leaders natin. So ang ginagawa natin, we do not want to infect, right? Kung pwede nga, if I may use the term, this ideology may be contagious, to some, especially to the young kids who have no deep understanding of Islam. Usually, ang nakukuha nila ay yung mga wala masyadong naiintindihan or hindi masyado silang acquainted doon sa ano yung Islam, ano yung real Islam. That's why we need to partner with the religious ulama, the scholars, religious scholars, in order that they can send the message appropriately to our young people. Now, Islam, it's not really a religion that pushes us to be violent, or pushes Muslims to be war freaks or trigger-happy people. Hindi po yun ang pinaka-objective ng ating religion. That's why we need to establish the credibility of the messenger and the messaging. So ganun po yung ginagawa natin sa ngayon. Pangalawa, sa nakikita po namin ay talagang organisado sila in terms of finances. And that's why the local government units of Maranao del Sur supported the extension of martial law. It's because not only would it actually, the fight really, it's not to contain or to limit the actual bakbakan inside MBA, but as well as to go after the sympathizers and the financiers outside. Nakita natin, may gustong pumasok, maski intense na yung bakbakan dyan sa MBA, meron pang pumapasok dahil they have the support, they have the financial support from outside. Remember, the ideology is actually an imported po yung ideology nila. It is not homegrown although the group is it's a local, they are locals, but the idea of establishing caliphate in the Philippines is completely different from, it's really an imported ideology. And that's why we need, I guess, dahil may pera sila, posibleng nagagamit nila yung kanilang finances nila. That's why we need the extension of martial law in order to catch and arrest and run after suspected financiers or supporters of these groups.
The next.
Question for Captain Benignan. Ma'am, yung initial radio broadcast, na-establish na po ba natin nang galing yan from inside the NPA? At tuloy-tuloy po ba yun? And how desperate po yung Mountain Dew para makakuha ng support from the outside?
Yung regarding sa radio broadcast na nabanggit natin, ito ay nakuha natin na information from the civilian din. Meron din kasing nagbibigay sa atin ng intelligence o information na sa tingin nila ay makakatulong sa ongoing operations natin. And from that, hindi pa natin, kasi nga yung nagsalita nito accordingly ay si one of the leaders of the Maute. So most likely, galing po ito sa loob. Hindi natin ipagkakailan na mayroon din silang mga radio na ginagamit. Because before this started, itong siege na to, meron silang na-imbak na kagamitan at communication systems na establish din nila bago sila nag-umpisa. Itong, kumbaga, na-preempt lang natin noong 23 yung umpisa, but they are really planning for the siege. So, hindi pa natin malaman exactly where in the main battle area, but it's from the main battle area. And then, what was your second question, sir?
How desperate po ang Mountain na makakuha ng outside support?
Oo. Sa nakikita kasi natin, kung wala kasing suporta, kung nauubos for the past weeks na wala na silang kumbaga suporta sa loob, mauubusan sila ng supplies. Ang alam nga natin, they don't have food supplies anymore. At dahil dito, magiging desperate sila in calling other people or their supporters na makapasok sa main battle area para mabigyan sila ng suporta. At yun nga, nung 15, may nag-attempt ng pumasok, although hindi naman ito food supplies, but these are RPGs and ammunition na maaring magamit nila. So we can see na nahihirapan na sila when it comes to logistical and food supplies sa loob.
Captain, any information on the leaders of the Mountain? Are they still alive?
Sir, based sa ating pinaka-latest na information, ang nasa loob talaga na binabanggit ng commanders natin during his interview this morning was si Omar. Si Omar yung sinasabi niya na naririnig na andyan pa, including Isnilon Hapilon. Nabanggit niya po ito kanina during Lieutenant General Galvez interview sa kaninang umaga. So yun po, sila po yung pagkakaalam natin are still within or nasa loob pa ng main battle area. No mention of him, walang, kumbaga maari kung sugatan siya o maaring namatay na siya pero hindi siya nababanggit lately.
Ma'am, yung nabanggit ko kanina yung 800 by 600 meters, yung mahirap siyang imagine, mas lalo sa mga katulad na training, mahina sa match. Paano mo ba yung describe yun, ma'am? Ilang kanto, building na lang po ba yun? Paano po bang right description yun?
Sir, ang masasabi lang namin is about an estimate 400 structures. Ito, if we can see, it is in a market area, di ba? Yung bandang baba ng Padian. So, maraming structures na magkakadikit-dikit. So, it's about 400 estimated number of building structures na andyan pa rin. Pero yung area, land area, it's 600 by 800 meters. Ito, estimate naman to kasi hindi naman natin talaga sinusukat yan. We just base it on the map. But as to other details, hanggang doon lang kami.
CNN. Clarification lang po. Sabi ka ni General Padilla dun sa Mindanao Hour na 30 hostages na lang. We understand na medyo estimates to, di ba? Pero medyo malaki ang discrepancy coming from last week na 50 to 70.
Actually, General Padilla said it's 30 on one particular area. Yung naalala nyo yung apat na mga hostages na nakalabas, they said it's about 46 actually in one specific area. Pero hindi kasi natin, sir, masabi kung yung sa ibang area meron pang hostages. That's why we have an estimate of 50 or more than that Pero yung sinasabi ni Sir Padilla was about yung isang venue lang, isang area lang, na base po dun sa binigay na information nung nakalabas na. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
So okay lang po kahit hindi magkaiba tayo ng estimates.
These are just estimates, sir. Si Sir Padilla din nagsabi ng estimate. So, hindi po ito fix. Wala po tayong concrete na number or fixed na number na masasabi. Ang naibigay natin, ang pagkakaalam talaga natin, again, estimate lang talaga tayo naglalaro. It's about 40 to 50.
Yung sa mismo sinasabi natin ang kalaban at saka yung mga hospitals, binibase lang natin doon sa nakukuha na yung yun sa isang building to the other building. Makikita rin kasi yung sabi ninyo halos pagkakalit. Any statement coming from the militaries of the on the ground.
Actually,
sightings.
yes.
I'm asking about the sightings of this mountain and the hostages. Kasi paano natin distinguish na ito mountain o hostages?
Definitely, mahirapan po talaga tayong i-distinguish kung ito siya ay maute, terorista, or ito siya ay hostage. Mahirap po talagang sabihin yon hanggat kaharap mo na. Even if kaharap mo na nga, siguro hindi mo malalaman na hostage yan kung yan ay pahawakin ng baril. So, ito po ang mga bagay na medyo hindi lang medyo, nagpapahirap po sa ating mga ground forces sa ngayon. And that is one thing that we would like the people to understand bakit tumatagal. Kasi as much as we want ang ating mga commanders, ang AFP, gusto na mabilisan po na matapos ito, meron po tayong hostages na kailangan pong i-consider all the time.
Paano natin masasabi kung consider nga yung mga locals or civilians kung hindi naman natin mag-distinguish kung sino yung terrorist?
Itong bagay po na yan, sir, na pag-usapan po sa mga conferences, daily assessments, kung ano particularly ang gagawin, paano ma-identify. And we have our loudspeaker system na nagsasabi kung anong dapat gawin if you're a hostage. Binibigyan sila ng idea kung anong dapat gawin nila. Para, it's the only communication we can give to the hostages. So kung susunod sila, if you could remember yung isang tao na yung truck civilian, na more than 60 days siya sa loob, it is through the loudspeaker that he learned that if I go to Bangulo Bridge, the soldiers are there. So we are using yung loudspeaker to let them know na you can do this para ma-identify namin na kayo ito. That's the only thing we can do right now. Other than that, wala na po kaming pwedeng gawin sa kanila. But we are just hoping na sana makuha nila, masundan nila, magawa nila para matulungan din nila kami na i-save sila.
Pag sinabi ninyo dun sa sightings, pati ba yung mga lahat ba naka-connected? Kasi pag sinabi natin hindi yung border of ISIS, ganun po ba?
Sir, actually, alam din natin yung kalaban natin, gumagamit din ng deception. Hindi din nagagamit na ng itim just to make them, to let soldiers, just to deceive soldiers na hindi sila mga maute or mga terorista. Pero most of them kasi, alam naman natin na kung magkakagupitan na dahil desperado, maaring gamitin nila yung hostages na nasa harap. So ito po, again, ay mga challenges na kailangan po nating paghandaan na hindi na natin pwedeng i-discuss dahil medyo operational na po.
ABS.
Just inquiry on the reinforcement. Meron po ba tayong mga monitor na engagement na po kaya next step po na binabantayan natin na reinforcement?
As to reinforcements, marami po tayong mga reports na natatanggap, sir, about it. Although ito po ay chine-check agad-agad ng ating mga ground forces, including yung PNP, tumutulong po sa atin, and yung mga LGUs natin. If there are reports received, sila mismo yung mga LGU tumutulong sa atin na alamin kung meron bang pag-iipon o pagtitipon-tipon sa isang area na yan. At napakalaking bagay po yung binibigay nila na tulong sa amin as to yung information given to us yung last time ng August 15. Kasi kung wala po yun, may possibility po talaga na makapasok. And remember, merong RPG na dala-dala ang mga ito at ilang tao na naman, ilang sundalo na naman ang mamamatay kung ito ay naipasok sa main battle area.
Next. Question for Captain Liman. Ma'am, sabi niyo nga po kanina we are down to the last 400 structures and there are roughly mga 40 na lang na MAUTE members, 40 to 50. So kamusta po yung retaliation nila, pagpapaputok nila sa tropa natin sa ground?
Ang napapansin po ng ating ground forces ngayon, medyo tipid sila sa pakikipagpalitan ng putok. Definitely, it's because konti na lang yung kanilang logistical supplies and ammunition sa ngayon dahil sa tinagal-tagal ba naman ng pakikipaglaban nila at wala nang nakakapasok to give them yung kanilang kinakailangan. So yun ang napansin daw po ng ating mga ground forces. Subalit, naglalagay sila ng mga improvised explosive device. Dito, medyo yun nga, just yesterday, 8 IEDs yung na-recover ng tropa at merong mga unexploded ordnance na 16 na na-recover doon sa area. So ito yung kanilang ginagamit upang maka-inflict sila ng casualty sa ating tropa. So just a few days ago, meron tayong, although hindi tayo namatayan, meron tayong 2 WIA na mapuputulan ng paa. And it's so sad to report this, yung paa ng ating 2 sundalo ay ma-amputate.
Last two person, Chino and then Kate.
Hindi ako wala akong information about the specifics kung sino itong na-wounded, but for the past few days may wounded tayo, yes. Pero hindi specifically hindi namin nalalaman yun kung ano specifically yung tama nila. Only on the green status, sir. Green status, yung medyo mabigat lang yung 2 mapuputulan ng paa.
Okay, sino?
The way we understand from the briefings na nakuha natin over the past few days, lumiit na yung main battle area, pahina na yung kalaban. I mean, consistent yan sa sinasabi na medyo pakuparan to, matapos na yung crisis, pagkakaroon ng German. Can we get another parang explanation from the military? Bakit parang relatively fit pa rin around and a large portion of Marawi, from our understanding, even the civilians na pinapayagan pumasok sa kanilang mga bahay mahakot yung kanilang mga gamit. Let's not even talk about the media, no? Yung mga civilians nila, tinatanggalan ng cellphone, bawal kumuha ng cellphone kung meron man. I mean, parang it's counter-intuitive dun sa sinasabi natin, no? Na parang clear na ito lahat. No? And why are people not yet allowed to go back? Ano bang considerations natin?
Yung number 1 consideration natin is the safety of the civilians. No? Dahil alam naman po natin na marami pa rin bala ang umaabot dito sa labas ng main battle area, despite the fact na lumiliit po yung area ng labanan. So that's the number 1 consideration. Number 2 is that we want to prevent the sympathizers and possible reinforcements to the MAUTE terrorist group from getting inside. Kaya po mahigpit tayo dito sa labas dahil yun po yung pinipigilan natin. Yung makapasok ang mga supporters, makapasok ang mga bala at pagkain dun sa mga fighters sa loob ng main battle area. So these are the 2 main reasons why kahit sinasabi po natin na lumilit na yung area at malapit na matapos, mahigpit pa rin tayo dito sa labas. As to the cell phones naman po, dun sa mga pinapayagan natin na dumaan dun sa likod ng main battle area para pumunta sa mga areas na kinakailangan mabigyan ng relief goods. No? Meron pa rin po tayong mga forces na nakapwesto dito. And of course, we do not want to reveal po kung nasaan yung mga pwersa natin.
That's all. Late na yung mga ano natin, meron silang 1 o'clock na ng 20 minutes. So, possibly yun na lang muna for now. Thank you very much.
Consider the force